My dear students, Section 8 to 13 of the Hindu Succession Act 1956 deals with the rules regarding separate and self-acquired property of a Hindu male. Section 8 says if a male Hindu dies intestate, that is without making a will, the property will be given to the first class 1 heirs. In class 1, there are 16 heirs. If all the 16 heirs are absent, class 1 heirs are absent, then property then given to the class 2 heirs. If all the class 2 heirs are also absent, then the property shall be given to the agnates. And if all the class 1, class 2 and agnates are absent, then lastly the property shall be taken by cognates. So this is the order given under section 8. First class 1, if there are no class 1, class 2. If there are no class 1 and class 2, then agnate. If there are no class 1, class 2 and agnates, then lastly it is the cognates which will take the property. In part 1 video of rules regarding separate and self-acquired property, I have discussed about the class 1 heirs, their order, their succession, their share values, etc. Now in this part 2 of rules regarding separate and self-acquired property, I am presenting class 2 heirs, their order of succession, share values, preferences, and also agnates and cognates. Now class 2 heirs. In the class 2 heirs, there are 9 entries and 19 heirs are in this list. If you look into the Hindu Succession Act 1956 before 2005 Amendment Act, there are total 23 heirs in the class 2 heirs. Now the 4 heirs, those I have mentioned in the red letters, these 4 sons, daughters, daughter's son's daughter, daughter's son, daughter's daughter are shifted to the class 1 heirs. So in the class 1 heirs before Amendment Act 2005, there are only 12 heirs. Now it is 16 heirs by adding these 4 heirs. But in class 2 heirs before Amendment Act, there are 23 heirs. Now it has been reduced to 19 heirs. So what are the 9 entries in the class 2 heirs and who are the heirs? First entry, there is only one heir, that is the father. If all the class 1 heirs 16 are absent, then the whole property shall be given by the father. The whole property shall be taken by the father. The father will take the whole property if all the class 1 heirs are absent. So first entry, there is only one heir, father. Second entry, sons, daughters, son, brother and sister. Third, there is only one heir, that is a daughter's son's son. Fourth, brother's son, sister's son, brother's daughter, sister's daughter. That is the children of brothers and sisters are included in the fourth entry. Fifth entry, father's father, father's mother. Sixth entry, father's widow, brother's widow. Father's widow means here stepmother, because the natural mother and adopted mother are included in the class 1 heirs. So here it comes, there the mother do not include the stepmother. Stepmother is not included in the class 1 heirs. So stepmother is included in the class 2 heirs. Class 2 heirs in the 6th entry. 7th entry, father's brother, father's sister. 8th, mother's father, mother's mother. 9th, mother's brother and mother's sister. There was then one explanation. In this schedule, references to a brother or sister do not include references to a brother or sister by uterine blood group. So, brothers and sisters related by uterine blood are not included in the brothers and sisters in class 2 heirs. Then who are the other brothers and sisters included? Who are the uterine blood? We'll discuss later. Section 9 speaks about the order of succession. Among the heirs specified in the schedule there are 9 entries. First entry in the class 2 shall be preferred to those in the second entry. Who is the first entry? Father. Only one heir, father is there. So if all the class 1 heirs are absent, In the class 2, first entry, father is there, so father takes the whole property. If there is no father, then the property shall be go to the second entry. There is no class 1 heirs are absent, first entry, second entry are not there, then third entry, then fourth entry, and so on. So this is the how the property will be distributed by excluding one after the other entries. Distribution of property. How the property will be distributed, section 11 says. The property of the interstate shall be divided between the heirs specified in any one entry in class 2 of the schedule. So they are take equally and simultaneously. For example, in the entry 1, father is the only heir, the problem doesn't arise, the father will take the whole property. In the entry 2, there are 3 heirs. So all the 3 heirs will take simultaneously and equally. And similarly, who are the heirs in that entry? All the heirs shall take the property equally and simultaneously. In class 2 heirs, the patriarchal norms of preference paternal relations over maternal relations have been retained. Now let us go to the father. Father include biological or adopted father. Biological means natural father and adoptive father included, but not the stepfather. Stepfather is not included. Similarly, punitive father of an illegitimate child is also not included. That means a father is not entitled to take a share from stepson's property or from an illegitimate son's property. Father will get nothing from the stepson's property or illegitimate son's property. So the father is entitled to take a share only from natural or adopted son. But father can inherit a property of a son born on void or voidable marriages. Children born out of void or voidable marriages are treated as a legitimate children. So children born on void and voidable marriages, they are legitimate children. So the children take the property, take the share in the father's property, and similarly, father also take share from the son's property. So father inherit property of a son born on void or voidable marriages. The position of the father is that either he gets the whole property in the absence of class 1 heirs, but he get nothing even in the presence of a single class 1 heir. This is an illustration. So the deceased has only 2 heirs. One is the father and the other is son's widow. Son's widow. There are only 2 heirs are left. Father, son's widow. No other heirs are there. Son's widow is the class 1 heir. Father is the class 2 heir. So what is the rule? What the section 8 says? If there are a class 1 heirs, class 2 will get nothing. So the whole property will be taken by the son's widow and father will get nothing. Second entry of class 2. What were the heirs in the second entry? Son's daughter, son, brother and sister. So here the deceased left brother and sister and son's daughter D1 and son's daughter D2 and their children. So total brother and sister, son's daughter's son, son's second daughter's son. So total 4 heirs are there: brother, sister, son's daughter's son, son's daughter's son. 4 heirs all are included in the second entry of class 2 heirs. So all the class 1 heirs are absent. First entry father is also absent. So these all are entitled to take the property equally and simultaneously. So brother will take 1/4, sister will take 1/4, and SDS take 1/4, and this SDS also will take 1/4 of the property. Now, we said that there is explanation in the schedule that says that brother and sister do not include in blood group. What does it mean? Brothers and sisters under entry 2 in the class 2. You will find brothers and sisters under entry 2 of in class 2. Similarly, their children will be found in entry 4. So wherever you find brothers and sisters, generally brothers and sisters are related either by blood or by adoption. Brothers and sisters are related to each other either by blood or by adoption. When the relationship is by blood, there are three types of relations. One is full blood, second is half blood, and the third is uterine blood. Three types of related. When both are related by blood, there are three types of relations. One is full blood, half blood, and uterine blood. What is a full blood relationship? When both brothers and sisters share both their parents, that is, they are descendants of the same father and mother. Father and mother is same. If father and mother is the same, the brothers and sisters are related by full blood relationship. Half blood relationship, when the brothers and sisters share the common father but from different mother. Father is the same. For brothers and sisters, father is the same, but their mothers are different. Generally, we used to call it the stepson, stepmother, stepfather. That is called as an half blood relationship. Uterine blood relationship, when brothers and sisters share common mother but from different father. So their brothers and sisters' mother is the same, but father differs. That is called by uterine blood relationship. So full blood, father and mother is same. Half blood, father is the same, mother differs. And uterine blood, mother's common, but father difference. So in this class 2 case, here brothers and sisters are included only the full blood and half blood and not the uterine blood. Wherever you find brothers and sisters, either they should be half blood or full blood and not the uterine blood, because uterine blood group are not included in the class 2. Not only the class 2 heirs, even the Agnates and Cognates also. So full blood and half blood. And whenever you find both the full blood and half blood, that is a full blood brothers and sisters, similarly half blood brothers and sisters, both are there. The full brothers and sisters excludes the half blood brothers and sisters. So this is an illustration. The deceased had a full brother and full sister and also half brother and half sister. Full brother and full sister, mother and father is the same, and half brother and half sister, father is same but mother differs. So full blood and half blood are present. Full blood excludes the half blood. So here half brother and half sister will get nothing, and full brother and full sister will take the whole property and it will be divided equally among them. So each will take half share. So half brother and half sister will get nothing. In the absence, there are, so for example, if there are no full brothers and sisters, the deceased will have only the half brother and half sister. Then the half brother and sister will take the property and it will be distributed equally among the brothers and sisters. So thus, in this class 2 heirs, brother, and wherever you find the brothers and sisters, it should be only the half blood and full blood, and uterine blood is not included. And whenever there is a full blood and half blood, the full blood group will exclude the half blood group. Now, the deceased having a sister and brother, and sons, daughters, sons, daughters, sons. So three sons. Three sons of a son's daughter. So total how many heirs? 5 heirs are there. All heirs are fall under the second entry of class 2. So all will take equally and simultaneously. So each get 1/5 of the share. This is the fourth entry of class 2. That is children of brothers and sisters. The sister has a one son, whereas the brothers had a 2 daughters. All are included in the entry 4 of class 2 heirs. Hence, the property is divided equally among all the 3 heirs: sister's son, brother's daughter, and brother's daughter. So each will get 1/3. Sister's son will get 1/3, and brother's D1 will get, the first daughter will get 1/3, and brother's second daughter also will get 1/3. So this is the class 2 heirs. And now agnates, that is class 3 heirs. A person is said to be agnate of another if the two are related by blood or adoption wholly through males. When you can say that this person is an agnate to another, for example, you take X and Y. When you say that Y is an agnate to X, two important conditions. One is Y and X are related either by blood or adoption. First condition. Second, in between X and Y, all are only males, no female intervenes. All are males. Son, son's son, son's son's son, son's 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 son. At the end, the agnate may be male or female. So, two conditions. The two persons must be related by blood or by adoption, and in between them, they are related only through males, wholly through males. Related means related by legitimate kinship. Agnates include persons related to one another by full blood as well as half blood. So here also uterine blood is not included. Full blood or half blood. An agnate at the end may be male or female. Only between them are male. At the end, agnate may be male or female. Agnates inherit only none of the heirs of the class 1 and class 2 heirs, because there are class 1, class 2 heirs also. So other than those cases, for the class 1 is son's son is an agnate. Son's daughter is an agnate. Between son's son, between all males. So they are included in the class 1. So they do not fall under this third class of case. So other than those included in the class 1 and class 2 falls under the agnate. That is son's son are included in the class 1. Now son's son and their children falls under the agnate. There is no limitation on a number of degrees. No limitation means son's son, son's son, son's son, and so on. There is no end to it. No, there is no limited number. It can go to any extent. Any extent. And nearer agnates have included in class 1 and class 2 phase, and therefore this category related to remote agnates. And class 4 cognates. Class 4 cognates. Here, cognates and agnates regarding order of succession, mode of distribution of the property, computation of the degree, everything is the same. Only the difference between is if there is cognate and agnate. Cognate will take the whole property, excluding the cognate. And the cognate will get the property only in the absence of agnates. That is only the difference, and the rest are all the same. What is a cognate? One person is said to be a cognate of another if the two are related by blood or adoption, but not wholly through males. Not wholly through males means some female, one or more, one or two or three. Some females may intervene between the two. So related means related by legitimate kinship. Cognate means a person related not wholly through males. Son's son, son's daughter, son's daughter's son or daughter. So a female intervenes. Whenever the female intervenes in the line, they are cognate. If they are related wholly through the males, it is an agnate. That is only the difference. The rest of the things all are common. Order of succession, everything is common. So when a person is related to the deceased, X and Y is related to one or more females, then he or she is called as a cognate. A cognate is someone who was related to the intestate through mixed relatives, both male and female. Son's daughter, son's daughter's son, son's son's daughter. Mixed relation. Whenever there is a mixed relation in the line, it is a cognate. Here I give an example. An intestate's paternal aunt's son is cognate. Paternal aunt female intervenes, so it is a cognate. But his paternal uncle's daughter is agnate because paternal uncle is a male. But the end it may be the male or female. At the end, cognate or agnate may be male or female. Agnates and cognates may be descendants, ascendants, or collaterals. This illustration relating to the descendant agnate and descendant cognate. Descendant means downwards. Son's son, son's son. Up to this, they're class 1 heirs. They are not fall under the class 3 heirs. Son's son is a class 1 heir. So son's son or son's daughter are the descendant agnate. Son's daughter, son's daughter's son, son's daughter's son's son, son's daughter's son's daughter is a cognate because son, son's daughter, female intervenes between the two. So these are called as the descendant agnates, and descendant cognate means downward. If wholly related through the males, it is an agnate. If any one or more female intervenes, it is called a cognate. Similarly, ascendants, ascendant agnate, ascendant cognate. Father, father's father, father's father, father. And the end, father's father's father or father's father's mother. They are agnate to the deceased. Because between father's father's mother and deceased, it is related only by blood or adoption and wholly through males. All are males. Father, father's father, father's father's father. Ascendant cognate. Father, father's father, father's father's mother. A female intervenes. So it is an ascendant cognate. Descendant means downwards. Ascendant means upwards. What about collateral? This collateral includes both the upward and downward. So the deceased has a father, father's father, father's father, father's father's son. All these four are male. And father's father's son's son or father's father's son's daughter or collateral agnate to the deceased. So upward and downward. Similarly, collateral cognate. Father, father's mother, female intervenes. Father's mother's father, father's mother's father's son, and father's mother's father's son's son, or father's mother's father's son's daughter. So this is the collateral. So agnates and cognates may be descendants downwards, or ascendants upwards, or collateral which includes both upwards and downwards. So section 12A gives three rules. This is the order of succession will be decided. The order of succession among agnates and cognates will be determined according to the three rules. The rule first says, of two heirs, the one who has a fewer or no degree of ascent is preferred. Rule 2 says, where the number of degrees of ascent is the same or none, the heirs is preferred who has a fewer or no degree of descent. Rule 3. Where neither heir is entitled to be preferred to the other under Rule 1 and 2, they take simultaneously. What is it? I will explain it with the illustrations. Computation of degree, section 13. For the purpose of determining the order of succession among the agnates and cognates, relationship shall be reckoned from interstate to the heir in terms of degrees of ascent or degrees of descent or both, as the case may be. Rule 2 says degrees of ascent and degrees of descent shall be computed inclusive of the interstate. Rule 3 says every generation constitutes a degree either ascending or descending. Now, what is section 13 says? Section 13 of the Act gives the method of calculating the degree of ascent or descent or both. It is a method of calculation. Section 13 gives the method of calculating the degree of ascent or descent or both. Why this calculation? By calculating this method, you can understand to whom the preference has to be given. If suppose if there are two heirs, to whom you have to give the preference. By applying this calculation, you can choose who shall be preferred, who is entitled to take the property, who is the heir, to whom the preference has to be given. So this determination that the preferential right to inheritance depends. It depends on this calculation. Preferential right depends on this calculation. The first subsection says relation shall be reckoned from the interstate to the heirs in terms of degrees of ascent or descent or both. From interstate you have to count degrees. This all depends upon the degrees. Each generation is referred to as a degree. Each generation is a degree. The first degree is the interstate. Degree of ascent means ancestral upwards. Degree of descendant means the descendants are downwards direction. where the agnate has both the descent and ascent degrees, each has to be considered separately. Now, rule first. Rule first says that of two heirs, the one is related to the deceased by fewer or no degrees of ascent will be preferred. See, in the first illustration, there are two heirs. The deceased died leaving a property, separate property without making a will, and there are no class 1 heirs, class 2 heirs, and there are class 2 heirs. Then these are the only two heirs are there. Sons, daughters, son's son, and father's daughter's son, to whom it is to be given preference. So according to rule 1 says, the one who has no degree of ascent will be preferred. So son's son has no degree of ascent. All are downward only, no degree of ascent. Whereas father's daughter's son has an ascent. Father is there. One degree of ascent is there. From father's daughter, father's daughter's daughter, father's daughter's son. Both are, first you have to see whether it is agnate or cognate. Both are cognates. Among them to whom the preference has to be given, son's son will be given the preference because there is no degree of ascent. Upward direction, no. There is no upward direction, no ascent, no ancestors. It is only completely downward. Son's daughter, son's daughter's son, son's daughter's son's son. So the whole property taken by son's daughter's son's son. Illustration 2. There are no ascent at all, no degree of ascent. Both, there are two degrees, son's daughter, son's daughter. There are two heirs. There are no degree. Both are descendants only. Both are descendants. Both are agnates. So according to rule 1, fewer in degree will be given. Fewer in degree. So interstate is the deceased. Interstate. Deceased is the first degree. Son is the second degree, son's son is the third degree, son's son is the fourth degree, son's son is the fifth degree, and son's daughter is the sixth degree. Whereas other one, descendant first degree, son is the second degree, son's son is the third degree, son's son is the fourth degree, and son's is the fifth degree. One is in the sixth degree and the other is in the fifth degree. According to rule 1, preference will be given to the fewer in degree. Who is the fewer in degree? Son's daughter is in the fifth degree. So the whole property shall be taken by the son's daughter. Rule 2 says, between the two competing heirs, if the number of degrees of ascent is the same or none, that one is preferred who has a fewer or no degree of descent. So in this illustration, mother's father's mother and father's daughter's son are the two heirs. No other heirs are left. Here, mother's father's mother. How many degrees? Only 4 degrees of ascent. Here also there is the 4 degrees of ascent. Father's father, father's father. 4 degrees of ascent. But in mother's case, there are no descents. But whereas in the father's daughter's son, there are 3 degrees of descent. So there are no degrees of ascent in case of father's mother. But whereas in the father's daughter's son, there are 3 degrees of descent. Preference will be given to the mother's father's mother because they have no degree of descent. Rule 3. Both ascents and descents are same. See, deceased in the both illustration, deceased and father, 2 degrees of ascent. Here also 2 degrees of ascent and 3 degrees of descent and 3 degrees of descent. So both father's daughter's son's son, father's daughter's son's son will take equally and simultaneously. This is how the property will be distributed and order of succession and preferences among the heirs of the Hindu male died intestate.